Go!
Hey world, Tennis Net here with NCAA football coaching carousel for dummies, head coach year 1 preseason. Just as a little bit of background, I'm not a big skill player or anything. I've only had the game a month or two, but I have become addicted to the Dynasty mode. Never played Dynasty mode. Like I said, I don't have mad skills. I spent 3 years as an offensive coordinator, and this was the first head coaching job I was offered. Got offered and accepted a position at Idaho, and let me tell you, having come from a 3-star program that went up to 4-star, maybe wasn't the best decision, so learn from my mistake. But it is what it is, and what the hey. I'm documenting this for fun and to maybe kind of school some less experienced players like myself out there so that they know not to make some mistakes or can learn from my experience. You can see the roster here, even after training, which I'm not showing in the video. Not exactly a stocked football team out there in Idaho, which is why they're a 1-star program. I guess the good news is that they play in the WAC. That's kind of a weak conference. They won the WAC. Idaho won the WAC last year, and the head coach for Idaho actually is now the head coach of the Clemson Tigers. So maybe I can look to repeat that feat. I only got a 1-year contract, and I'm kind of stacking the odds in that direction. The game always loves to put these 1-star programs on the Alabama and Florida schedules of the world, don't they? I turned the tables on that a little bit. Decided to schedule Eastern Michigan and Western Kentucky because I figured those are also 1-star programs. Probably got a shot to beat them. The other good news is that I actually don't need a lot of players. The team is stocked with bodies, if not with talent, and the only player I need is a center. So with this in mind, I decided to do something a little bit crazy, something I wouldn't necessarily recommend for those of you who are noobs or new to Dynasty mode, especially at the lower tier programs. I wouldn't go in there and try to recruit a bunch of 4-star athletes. I didn't know this when I was setting up the board, but you're definitely wasting your time with 4-star. But taking a flyer on a few of these 3-stars, and here again, I'm doing this because I don't need a lot of players. If I get a small recruiting class of 1 and 2 stars, I'm really no worse off than what they would normally be getting. And if I take a flyer on a few of these 3-star guys and actually hook them in after a week or two, then that's great. The ones who aren't, then, well, basically we'll just let them go quickly and focus our efforts on the players we ordinarily would be recruiting. So yeah, you can see here I'm trying to basically I probably got a little too ambitious when I was setting up the recruiting board, but here again I haven't actually spent time on anybody. All I did was look through at 3- and 4-star guys who either showed interest, which I think there was maybe 1 3-star guy that showed interest, and the rest I went off like where they had 30 or 31 or maybe 29% interest on the interest meter in the finding recruits, and went ahead and added them to the board. Like I said, I'm just going to throw some time at these guys and see what happens. Like I said, just to give you a little bit of a peek ahead, most of these guys clearly are not going to make the trip to Moscow and go, wow, this program's for me. I think what I also would probably what I also miss is like I said, being in a program where in my 3rd year we actually got the number 11 recruiting class. Not going to happen again. This is the coaching contract. There's my coach there. As you can see, I'm set up pretty decently. As long as I can win 4 games, I should have decent stability. It's a 1-year contract, and hopefully I'll get to move on to something bigger and better. Job security, there's the WAC. There again, this is 2014, and I went ahead and moved the WAC teams that had left the conference out of the conference. That's why it looks the way it does. I was going to disband the WAC altogether until I got that head coaching job. And I was left peeking at the head coaches who are on the hot seat. Like the guy at Ohio State, he was at 28% last year. Don't know how he didn't get fired. Don't know how the Akron guy didn't get fired either. Probably would have been glad to take either of those jobs. And then there's the guys who are the 5 hottest, I guess, as it is. What we're going to do now is we're going down to redshirt players. I have a full complement of players. There again, the team's pretty stocked, if not with talent. So I'm only going to be here a year. Normally you'd put some players on redshirt to kind of shelve them and let them get a little talent and make room for other guys. Don't see any need to do that now, so what the heck, we're going to press on and start the season.